In this episode, we're going to look at the Zet Ninja 2. The Ninja 2 is a boat many seem to overlook without realizing its potential. The optimized hybrid hull is definitely an improvement over the original Ninja. You can expect edges that provide smooth control. The bow can slide across rocks or shallow ledges with poise and predictability. If you like surfing waves, you're going to love the speed and agility of the Ninja 2. The stern is more playful than the original model without taking away the boat's capability. You will also notice how lightweight this boat is on the water as well as on your shoulder. The Ninja 2 likes to skip and hop when using its speed, whether boofing or jet fairing. The volume behind the hips, working in conjunction with an aggressively narrowing plating surface at the stern, provides an impressive combination of initial and secondary stability, while avoiding the tracking issues often caused by boats that are wider behind the seat. It also lends itself to steering from the hips and stern, making it very dynamic and snappy without being inaccessible to novice paddlers. Given the reputation Zet has earned for the durability of its plastic, paddlers can also have a sense of confidence. Be you an advanced paddler stepping up to more challenging runs, or a newer paddler just starting on your kayak journey. If you're looking for a kayak that is going to be used on a wide variety of rivers, enhance and reward your paddling skills, and be a boat that you'll paddle for years to come, you should definitely give the Zet Ninja 2 a fair chance. As the main part of my 2025 kayak season starts to slow down, it's time for my end of season reviews to begin. I am 5'10" and usually around 190 pounds. I've come up with categories I personally look for in a creek boat. These categories being stability, edges, boofability, comfort, slide ability, speed, control, and rollability. I'll give each category a score using a scale from 1 to 5. 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. Then I'll break down my reasons. At the end of my review, the boat will receive a scorecard that you can pause and write down, hopefully helping you when weighing the options of what boat best suits your style. Before I begin, let's summarize the scorecards of boats I've already reviewed. Stability, 4.5. The Ninja 2 is very stable, primary and secondary, giving you the confidence when leaning into boofs, surfing, or jet fairing. The stability is behind your hips, which will feel different from other boats, but becomes a very natural feeling quickly, and then becomes addictive. You'll notice the initial stability immediately in this boat, but this becomes even more apparent when you feed it some throttle. This is an incredibly fast design, and as it accelerates, the functions of the hull and wide, aggressively tapered stern walls kick in, making it feel nimble and planted at the same time. Edges, 5. I don't give out a 5 on edges easily, so I can assure you Zet nailed it with the edges on the Ninja 2. The edges run from stern to the mid-hips, transitioning into rounded sides as the planing surface rounds into a displacement bow. The slalom inspiration in the design feels amazing with speed, bringing the edges to life. The edges transfer from one edge to the other, feeling very smooth and controlled. I love this boat on a wave. It surfs unlike anything else in the market, and you have to experience it to understand it. Boofability, 4. The boofability of the Ninja 2 is, for the most part, similar to the Ninja 1. This boat requires your input, demanding timing and technique when boofing. It doesn't have the rocker of a clutch or Indra to lift you over features into a skip. It relies on speed, precision, and your boofing techniques going into a feature, much like the original Ninja. The advantage of the Ninja 2's design comes from the slightly shortened and more rockered stern, which departs more cleanly from the rock ledges on flat and leaning boofs, greatly reducing stern tapping. It also makes stern loading easier to set up for wave boofs and moves like kickflips. It will boof beautifully when you give it the input it needs. You'll notice the hinge point of the Ninja 2 is under your hips, whereas I usually feel it more in the front of me in other boats. It's good to consider this when you first start paddling the Ninja 2. Comfort, 3. This is a soft 3, pardon the pun, as the knees are slightly higher than the Ninja 1, which is a small improvement. This may be controversial as some paddlers swear by the Zet outfitting. I am not one of those paddlers. I find that the thigh braces put my legs in a position that causes great discomfort in my knees and hips. Also, the foam is squishy, dampening my connection to the kayak. The hip pads and back band have hot spots, which only fuel my discomfort. I think Zet would benefit from doing an update on their outfitting, making the Ninja 2 have much higher knees. And as an example of height, I would say for too large height of knees. Higher knees in the Ninja 2 would have nothing but positive impacts. It would improve the comfort and the cockpit geometry, effectively making the top of the bow more rounded, increasing the secondary stability, making rolling even easier, and making their thigh braces more usable. I would like to imagine an even more updated outfitting system. I'd like to see a flatter back band, like the Jackson or Waka. Hip pads that are shaped more so like the ones Dagger uses. The thigh braces could be molded into the boat, and their famous foam could be padding those thigh braces. If they wanted to make the thigh braces adjustable, they could use a system similar to how their seat/hip pads already adjust, with a slider. Other companies have had to come to terms with flaws in their outfitting and address these issues. Because I enjoy the hull design of this boat so much, I dedicated myself into finding a way this boat can be more comfortable, which would be professional in nature and not just for me. Jackson has the bee's knees, hip pads, and back band sold separately in kits. The bee's knees can be installed into the Ninja 2 easily. I think Jackson has one of the best back bands in the game. In the Ninja 2, I left my Jackson hip pads more loose to pull them up on top of my hips when I'm in the seat. This system works wonders for comfort and performance. The Ninja 2 feels less clunky and very responsive with this setup, and most important of all, I can sit in the boat for hours with no pains in my knees or hips. One last issue I found is that the bulkhead can only go back so far. I added my own holes in the aluminum bar, but ultimately had to use contact cement to add extra foam to the existing footrest for proper fit. Slidability, 4.5. The hybrid hull of the Ninja 2 allows the front of the kayak to slide over anything shallow with ease. The boat will slide over rocks and maintain its momentum. Combined with durable plastic backed by the manufacturer, gives you confidence to slide over the river bottom when needed. I was playing on the Kananaskis one day and ended up pitoning very hard into a rock. It felt like a car accident, to be honest. I was assuming the worst, but when I checked the bow, it only had a minor scratch. I am fairly certain other boats in my quiver would not have responded so well to this. Speed, 5. The Ninja 2 may be a hair slower than the Ninja 1, but you'd need a stopwatch to tell. This speed sets it apart from other sporty creek boats on the market. Not only is the Ninja fast, its acceleration is phenomenal. The speed of the Ninja 2 will be felt using cross-current moves, adapting to changes on the water quickly, attainments, jet faring, and surfing. Speed is your friend in the Ninja 2. Control 5. The changes made to the stern of the Ninja 2 seems to be the source of its increased control. The increased rocker in the stern creates a concave back deck that can be used to harness flows for stern loading, pivoting, and playing. I love the Ninja 2 because it doesn't paddle like anything else on the market, giving you a completely different experience. It's a very manual boat that rewards good posture and paddling technique. The tail is more playful than the Ninja 1, and I find the Ninja 2 would rather stall on its tail than go for multiple rotations. Rollability 5. Despite the Ninja 2's appearance, this boat is probably one of the easiest to roll in my quiver. This ability transfers to kickflips, as I find the boat simply rotates faster. The boat is easy to roll, it inspires confidence to try new moves. The Ninja 2 hits this in spades. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people like the look of the Ninja and the Ninja 2, others hate it. It's pretty polarizing. It may not have the flowing lines of an RMX or the muscle car sitting at idle look of the Scorch, but you would be robbing yourself of a truly incredible experience if you shop on looks alone. This kayak not only performs differently than most other sporty creekers out there, but will make you perform differently, in a good way. It's one of those boats that can be considered a legitimate quiver killer for paddlers from about 160 to 220 pounds range. With the durability of its build, this will be a trusted partner on the river for years to come. The Zet Ninja 2 is the highest scoring boat I've reviewed to date, which I think says a lot about its performance and potential. I hope you get an opportunity to, at the very least, paddle one of these bad boys. I hope you've enjoyed these reviews and find them helpful. I reach out to various paddlers to try and make them as accurate and unbiased as I can. I also value the viewers' feedback and questions. I want to grow these and improve them in the future. Next year I plan to have an end of season review on 3 full-on half slices. That would include the Scucks. Stay tuned for that and much more content to come. Thank you and appreciate y'all.